Hello, GED students. I am just starting to tape some simple GED lessons. I hope you are all well. I am healthy, and I am praying for each of your families that you stay healthy as you stay home, except to go out and get groceries or go to work. A couple of things before I start our first session is I want to make sure you know how to stop the video and start it again. So I am probably on a screen something like this, and at the bottom left-hand corner there's an arrow which you pushed to start, and then that arrow turned into 2 bars, which means stop. But after a while, after watching, those disappear. So anytime during the video you want to stop it for a while, just touch this and that will stop it. Even though the bars, the stop bars, are not there anymore, just touch that lower left-hand corner of your video and that will stop the video for you to read or answer questions. Also, I hope that many of you were able to pick up the book during drive-by day. Here is the book that we will be using at this beginning stage. So I will be giving page numbers from this book. If you have an older edition, probably you will be able to figure out where we are. So we're going to start by looking at a group of homophones for the day that you probably know. Homophones are words that sound exactly alike, but they're spelled differently and they mean different things. So let's look at the board. I am guessing you know these 3 homophones well. There is 2TO, 2TOO, and 2TWO. 2 is a preposition. TO is a preposition. He went to the store. I will give a gift to you. TOO means also. Bob is going to the store. Can he take me to? TOO. Can he take me also? 2, TWO, is the number 2. Please buy 2 gallons of milk. TWO. So fill in the blanks. I've got 3 sentences. One needs TO, one needs TOO, and one needs TWO. Fatma has blank children. Did you go blank school? Gannett is going to the park. I want to go blank. So if you need time to think about it, do that. Push stop, but I'm going to tell you the answers. Fatma has 2 children. Did you go? 2 is TWO for the number 2. Did you go to school? TO. And Gannett is going to school, going to the park. I want to go also or to. TOO. I'm guessing that was very easy for you. Now we're going to get to the harder thing. We're going to look at the GED book. So we're going to go to page 104 and talk about character. Let's see. Character. Page 104. Let's look at the book together. First, let's look at the left margin. Characters are the people in a story. You can understand a character by noting what the narrator tells you directly, as well as by inferring from the character's appearance, actions, words, and thoughts. The last time that you had a lesson in school, you looked at inferences, figuring out what they don't tell you. A common kind of question on the GED asks you to choose how a character would act in a different situation based on what you know about the character's personality. So characters are the people who are in a story or who inhabit a story. The personalities and motivations of characters are often stated directly by the narrator, the one telling the story. Sometimes you can also infer characters' personalities or motivations by what they do, what they think, and what they say. What is a motivation? A motivation is the reason someone does something. Now, as you read this excerpt, look for details that describe each character. So turn off the video for a bit and read this 3-paragraph excerpt. And when you're done, we'll talk about the questions about it. So push stop now. Okay, you read this excerpt from a book, and let's see, there were 2 characters that they're going to ask about, Helga and Olsen. So let's look at the first question. Which of the following describes Helga? Number 1, is she attractive, down to earth, embarking on a new life? Or 2, is she self-centered, smug, and enjoys being watched? Look back at the paragraph and pause the video if you need to before turning it on again to hear the answer. Choice 1 is correct. If you look at the last paragraph, she has been out with her parents and with Axel Olsen, and it says in the very last sentence, but at the end of that first day, it was with thankfulness that she returned to the sheltering walls of the house on Maria Kirkplads. So she was glad to be back home. She did not like being watched. Number 2 would be wrong. Self-centered, smug, enjoys being watched. We know that's the wrong answer, so number 1 is the first answer. Attentive, down to earth, embarking on a new life. Now let's look at the next question at the bottom of page 104. Which of the following would Olsen be most likely to do at a party? Snub the hostess if the wine was below his expectations? Offer to drive anyone home who needed a ride? So read again about Olsen. What's he like? Stop the tape if you need to decide whether the answer is 1 or 2. Choice 1 is correct. Snub the hostess if the wine was below his expectations. In the paragraph, at the end of the first paragraph, it says his stupendous arrogance awed her. Arrogance is pride in a bad way. So he had pride in a bad way. So he would probably not offer to drive anyone home who needed a ride. He would probably, number 1, snub the hostess if the wine was below his expectations. Now let's look at page 105. I want you to read this section. It says excerpted from Hizakurige. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's not an English word, but I would like you to read that paragraph, that selection. It has 11 paragraphs. Oh, actually, it has 14 because it goes on to the next paragraph. So pause the video and read that excerpt, and then we will talk more. What did you think about this excerpt? It was difficult, wasn't it? So before you answer the questions, let's talk about what it means. In this excerpt, a man named Yaji goes to a witch, and the witch pretends to contact his wife, who is dead, and there is a conversation between the dead wife, which the witch is speaking for, and the man Yaji. So let's look at the first question. What does Yaji say? Why does Yaji say, no, don't do that. It's really too far for you? Looking at paragraph 8. Pause the tape and select your best answer. So the wife, the dead wife, has supposedly said, I will come back from the dead. And Yaji is saying, no. Is he saying that because his wife can't really travel to him anyway? That's D. I don't think so. Is he saying it because C, he has no real interest in seeing his wife again? What about B? He is frightened about seeing the ghost of his wife. Or A, he is trying to be more considerate. Stop the tape and mark your best answer. Okay. The answer is B. He is frightened about seeing the ghost of his wife. The witch, supposedly speaking as Yagi's wife, says she lies in her grave. She lies in her grave, longing for Yaji to die and join her. She then asks, shall I come to meet you? Throughout the passage, Yaji seems uncomfortable. At this moment, you can infer that he is scared. Now look at question number 2 and number 3. Go ahead and answer them. Turn the tape off and answer them, and then we will talk about them. Okay, let's look at number 2. Which of the following is the best description of the witch? Caring, straightforward, untrustworthy, or unthoughtful, or thoughtful? Well, if you look at the last thing that the wife supposedly says through the witch, he says in number 11, in paragraph 11, give this witch plenty of money. So the witch is pretending to speak for Yaji's wife and urging him to give her a lot of money. So she is not trustworthy. The answer is C, untrustworthy. There's no indication here that she is caring or thoughtful. And, yeah. Okay, so let's go on to number 3. Early in the story, the witch, speaking as Yaji's wife, says, ah, what agony I went through when I was married to you. Time and time again, suffering the pangs of hunger and shivering with cold in the winter. Based on this information and the excerpt, what kind of husband did Yaji seem to be? A, angry, B, kind-hearted, C, responsible, D, neglectful. We don't see any sign that he is angry or kind-hearted. I don't think that he is responsible because in paragraph 1, it talks about, and in this excerpt, how she was hungry much of the time and shivering with cold in the winter. So it doesn't sound like he was responsible. Instead, the answer is D, neglectful. This is one of the harder passages that we have read. So if this was difficult for you to understand, that's okay. Tomorrow, or the next time we have a lesson, we will look at lesson 4, theme, on page 106. But for now, I will say goodbye. Have a good day, and I hope you stay healthy.